this is where we sit with the GOM now.
You fucking...
We have a lot of things in order, but there's also a couple of things no longer okay. What needs to be done? Well, the body is on here. We have some nice posts in the front, and it fits really nice on this bumper. I'm glad I could keep this one. This is perfect, but there still is no attachment in the rear. So we need to figure something out. Probably some posts over here, so I can slide it on and drop it down like this, and then it's okay. We'll mount. We will find something over here, so it just slides on, and then the body sits okay. I'm really pleased on how the body turned out. It's not my best paint job, but the colors match really nice, and I'm really happy that I gave him a white roof. There's only a couple of places, just here and here is just a little bit, and just this I can remove. This is gonna be more difficult, probably not able to, but the rest, I think the body turned out really nice, so I'm pleased with that one. What needs to be done? This guy needs his shocks filled. We will do that. Fill shocks. I think someone said use heavy oil. I do have, what do I have here? I thought I had a bottle of heavy oil. Yeah, I will find it. It's somewhere over here. Here it is. 750 CST. I don't know how much that is in the other units. CST weight. I don't know what it is in weight, but I think this could be really good oil for these shocks. So that's one thing. And then the shocks in the front, they need heavier springing in. They came with the original package, so that's okay. We have shocks, we have oil. That's something we can take care of. There still is the brass weight on the front axle. I need to figure something out for that, but that can be done later. And then last but not least, well, I'll show it on this camera. I hope this camera picks it up. I think something like this. You can see it. This gearbox sits on a skid, and then there is these black plastics left and right that give him support. Then there is the outer cage, and that's all connected here together, but actually this thing is a weak part, and I can show you it is like this. Since I cut the cage, this is now a weak part. So we need a triangle, and I'm not sure how we do the triangle. There's two options. We do it inside, and then the triangle will go from the inside somewhere to over here, but then I have to cut up the cage, the body, the cap, or and I'm trying to be creative, and I don't know how nice that will be. We have these Delrin rods, as I already put one up here. Let's put the body back on, because I really need the triangulation. If I put it on its side, this is also outside the body, so I might end up doing a triangle like this. It doesn't even look that ugly. I can do it with well, I can use rod ends and just make rod ends over here, or I can drill through the Delrin tubes, make it something nice, and then we have a triangle here, and then yeah, this floppiness, this stops then, because we have our triangulation for the body. Then you can see it like this, so we just need to stop it. I think I'm going to try to fiddle something out with the Delrin rods. The body will still fit nice inside of these rods. Might give them something, yeah, I don't know if it does something aesthetically special, but I really would like to keep the body not cut up because it's strong like this. So we'll need to figure out how to do that. First, let's do this and see where we end up. We can do shocks in the meanwhile, we can fill them. We need to do something about the body, and last but not least, I'm going to make, with this L-shaped aluminium, I'm going to make a brace over here, and then on that brace we can I think place the seats on them, and then we can have a driver figure back in there. The interior, it's not going to be possible to keep that without cutting everything up, so that's also something we will do. So without further ado, I will start doing that, and when we come back in a second or two, you will see a lot of changes.
Genuine eBay parts. I got everything on here is from eBay pretty much. So
we have the shocks for the GOM taken apart and cleaned them all out, so they are nice. There was a little bit of oil in there. Well, there was a lot of oil in there. One was leaking, the other one wasn't, but we will refill these on the proper way, because there was a bladder in there, but I wouldn't call that a bladder. I just threw them away. But we will fix them with the Traxxas pack 2362. That pack contains a real bladder. You have some real nice O-rings.
An air duct. Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
GoPro starts recording. You have some real nice O-rings, and the O-rings are actually X-rings. I don't know how well this shows. They are actually X-rings. So we will pack this with a spacer. We will do an X-ring, we will do a spacer, we'll do an X-ring, and then at the end, these are not the clip-on ones, but ones with the thread in there. I use a pencil to screw this back on, which works actually perfect. There's only one thing. Normally we do the shaft in there first and then tighten the package with an E-clip. In this case that won't work, so I will have to tighten that, but not too firm, so the threads don't damage the X-rings from the start. So I will be balancing and see how we do. Let's put one together. All these spacers, all these parts are in the Traxxas pack I showed you. Now we also use some of the green slime to make sure oil stays inside. Okay, just a little bit. That is way too much. Okay, doesn't matter. That certainly is enough. Nice in there. The next spacer, and then the next O-ring. There's also some of the green slime on the lid. Let's do that in, and then I feel there's just enough space for the locker to go in. Let's clean it up just a little bit. Okay, where is this thing? Let's just thread it in here and feel. This is still really loose, and now it stops. So I'm going to give it a little force and then stop turning. Now we also will help the sliding through process by putting some nice slime on the shaft. So, and now fingers crossed we don't damage anything. As you see, there's also an O-ring on the bottom. I'm mounting these upside down. If there might be air in the oil, that air will be on top, and by putting this O-ring on here, the shaft can go completely out. Hence, if there is air, it will stay above the piston. So let's now try to find, if we can. That was actually rather nice. We regained some green slime. That went in really nice. Maybe a little bit too easy. However, it feels nice. There's also well, I can maybe I need to clean this up, because otherwise the rod end won't work. Now this is actually, that feels actually really good, and there's no wobble, no. So I think we have something here.
Procedure, everyone. What's the procedure? Stay calm.
GoPro start recording. I think we have something here.
Wait. Everybody, calm down.
GoPro start recording. I think we have something here. GoPro start recording.
This is the worst.
And now you keep recording. Okay, so I think we have something here. It looks really nice. We will use oil, heavy oil. As you can see, we have slots on the outside. It's 4 slots, so it's actually rather big, the slots. But we will use, we have been advised, GoPro start recording. We have been advised to use some heavy oil. I have some 750 CST over here, so let's see if that is if that's going to work. Now I would have loved this in another bottle, which would it make easier to fill the shocks, but let's have a go at it, see what we can do without okay, that's not so bad at all. Fill it to the top. Okay, wait a second. All the way up. Pulling down, all the air comes nice out. And then we fill them further up. Yeah, actually that works really good. All the way up. I think, yeah, it will be enough. We will, oh yeah, there's still enough damping, if not too much. I was afraid with the big holes on the side there was not going to be enough damping, but I think it's perfect.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
These are front shocks, so we put them over here in our shock stand. Yeah, we will do the other ones. As I said, the front ones will get the heavier springs on them, and then the rear ones go over there. I will continue this process till they are all 4 done and all the air is out of them, and then we will come back. They are all 4 filled with oil now. As you can see, we have the offset caps in the rear, just to get them a little bit straighter. I'm not sure if I will use that yet. I need to find out. But this is the front one, and as you can see, oil is really nice onto the top. We will put one of these caps on here. Before I forget, it's always best to take a little bit of this paper, wrap it around, because you are going to lose some oil. We are pushing the shaft almost completely in, and then we'll drop this cap on, and you see some oil gets lost. And now we thread on this one. Yeah, nice. Let's see, where is the shaft at the moment? Yeah, that's perfect. Let's put it on until it's firm. Okay, and now we start cleaning things up. Oh, I got just a tiny bit of paper in there. Alright, there's oil everywhere. That's happening when you're working with chocks. A clean piece of paper, clean them all up. Works really nice. Works really nice. It feels like yeah, I don't know if I can say this, but it feels like a premium shock. It really does feel like a premium shock. Okay, now we have, let me see, how far does it go in? This is probably, just touching. But when this is in, that won't be touching. So the heavier spring, the cap on here. Now watch out what you do, because if you let this go, you'll probably never find it again in a workshop. Turn it on, and then let's see. Now just all the threads gone, and then we will in a second we will put them on our RPM tool and see if they are as long. But now, oh man, these feel really good now. I think this is exactly what we will need. Yeah, it's a heavy car. It can use firmer springs in the front. We'll put this one on here already, and then in a minute we will have the other one. But we'll not take you through all this process. Might come back to show them both on here and how that works. Okay, so we have our second front shock mounted also. There's two things we can see with this shock. Are these as long as each other? And this needle stands exactly on 0, so that's nice. And then what else can we see? They do now eye to eye have a length of 11.3, I think, and fully compressed they are just over 80 millimeters. Now the last thing you can see is when you release them, you can see if one shock travels faster than the other one, if the needle swings out left or right. And on these ones there is I can't really see. If you want to see it, I think the needle swings a tiny bit over to this side, meaning that this one extends faster. But that is really just a hair. It's not even a millimeter, it's half of a millimeter. So front shock's done, and we will come back when the rears are done. This is it. The gum is, let's say, 95% ready. What did we all do today? Well, as you can see, he even has a driver figure in here now, and we have a spare tire on the back. So yeah, I think we are about to hit completion on this car. The shocks are done and they feel really nice. They feel really nice, the shocks. I did not need the offset caps. The front is maybe a little firm, might require some hair bands. I'm not sure of that yet. What else did we do? Let's take the cap off so I can show you a little bit. Might still need to make some mounts over here to keep it up, to keep it secured in the rear. I'm not sure of that yet, what I'm going to do, but anyway, we made a bracket down here for to mount the seats back on. We got our guy in here. He's tied to the seat. There's a second seat. His legs are up here, which is okay, out of the way. We did reinforcement bars like this one on the side, so there's no play anymore in the chassis. It even looks cool like this. What else did we do? Yes, there is the spare tire. Excuse me. But I was a lot of fiddling and drilling and bending and on the jigsaw. But now I think we ended up where we want to be. It feels these shocks they really feel good. I will put them on the scales so we know how much he weighs, how the weight distribution is. I'm guessing on a 60/40, won't be far off. And then yeah, it is late now. What time do we have? 8 o'clock. It's starting to get dark outside. Tomorrow we will do his test drive and see. Yeah, the question where we started this mission was, can he crawl and can we make him crawl? Well, we will have the answer tomorrow. What for me will be the next day, for you will be a split second. See you outside. So here we are to answer the question, can this Gmade GOM Crow, yes or no? Final answer to the question. Not going to make excuses before we started, but keep in mind this is still a no underdrive overdrive vehicle, because there's a 2-speed gearbox in there, and on the 2nd speed you don't need overdrive or underdrive. With that in mind, we will try to crow with no underdrive and overdrive in this vehicle. So here we go. That's 2300 Fusion in there. We have a 3S pack. We gave him all the weapons available, and of course I think you will understand this guy will not do the same lines as a 110 vehicle. Of course it's not completely made for a vehicle this big. There still is a wide skid, so it's not going to be that capable. And there's the straight axles with large pumpkins, as you can see. They're already hanging up on the rear one. We still are in the process of developing a solution for that rear axle so it can slide over easier. That being said, I think we can say this is growling what he's doing now. Okay, you're really driving to avoid rocks on that pumpkin. This will probably be maximum flex. Let me see. The front springs, one is completely in and the other one is completely out. And if all is well, we have the exact opposite thing in the rear. And we do have nice deflection on the tires. Here's the rear one. So I think we found good inserts for these Louise champs. And now I'm curious if steering put will make a... and then it drops down. Real nice, real nice. So the flex is okay. You really have to drive this one to keep the pumpkin out of trouble. Not gonna do the same crazy lines we do with our almost cheater rigs. We want to show you what it is capable of. There's a continuous battle of the pumpkin. Bunkered it straight in the next stone. And now the rear pumpkin hangs. Yeah, you can get it off. I'm really pleased on how this one turned out. You can go over the top, sir. Don't worry. Yeah, I think I can categorize this as growling. Now we do have dick, so I will apply it and then turn it back off. It might sometimes require a small reverse to undick. And now the descent, not overloading, doing really nice. Okay, let's go the opposite direction. You get used to it, but it takes a moment to learn how to drive with a vehicle with no underdrive or overdrive. You all should test that out if you've never been there. It's an interesting path. Yeah, I call this growling. I categorize this under growling. It's doing really nice. The fusion, of course, helping to drive as slow as you want. It's really nice. Color team also came nice together. Can I take the most extreme line? And there's the continuous pumpkin fight, probably. No? Yes? Yeah. The front, and now you can see I'm really glad on how we did that servo on there, because we keep all the clearance on the axle. That's something we need. And then the rear pumpkin is also not going to help. Let's just see if we can clear the most extreme line. Yeah. Front pumpkin again. Need a little bit of steer input to get around. Yes. Man, I said I was going to make it a crawler. For me, it's a crawler now. Yeah, steep descent. Okay. Normally we take off camber on the front, but the vehicle is too wide. I have tested it, it's just too wide to do that line. So it's really challenging to drive this one, and fun also. You have to think about, how's the rear pumpkin mechanical in? Mostly a bit of steering input helps, okay. And that wheel goes really high in the air, but then he reloads. The shift weight to the front, so perfect. And we have a skid in, that also happens, but nothing you can't manage. Take a little bit of a different line then. Okay, perfect. I like his colors. And now it's the rear pumpkin. Yeah, it's really fun to drive this one. Yeah, let's take the most extreme line. All the way up the wall. No problem. I wonder... Oh man. Yeah, he got off. He got off. So he's capable of doing a serious angle without dropping. I wonder if this one can do hangman. I'm afraid the skid is not going to allow that. But we will just give it a try anyway. Let's see. Oh, he can do hangman. Nice. Yeah, it's Louis Champ tires. Really, really good. There's no use in trying to test this. Of course, you need a better breakover, even if he's this big. He's lacking breakover. The skid is too wide, and then mainly the lack of underdrive, overdrive. I can't put him on big. No, this is not in his wheelhouse. So I put him on the scales. That picture might be up now, and he's exactly 60/40. And there's a driver in there, so I'm really happy with the. Oh wait, is he on Dick? Yeah, he was still on Dick. Let's do this growl one more time, just so you can see it is not a fluke. And there's enough breakover. You can take that rock in the rear. Let's try the front line. I'm not sure if that will be possible. Let's just see where we end up. And the rears are not exactly helping here. Maybe go to the wall side, and then we will get a pumpkin. Oh no, no pumpkin this time. Nice. Can we do complete wall side? Let's just see. This is something completely different. I don't know what scale it is. 1/8 scale maybe. That's a completely different way of driving. Growling, I have to say, growling. It does growl, and that Fusion 2300. That's so buttersweet. Yeah, man. It does exactly what I want. I'm probably gonna have the rear pumpkin in again. There's a lot of mechanical. He manages to get through. Let's try to do a more extreme line. Now we got the front pumpkin in. We got it over. Yep, we got it over. Let's do a little bit more extreme line, a little bit more to the outside. And now the rear pumpkin is in again. Little reset up here. Try to get the pumpkins clear this time. Can do it. I think maybe I need to make some footage of it, this thing running at high speed also. I'm not sure if this one is going to cope with steepy on the wall side, because we are, yeah, that front pumpkin is now mechanical in, so it needs to take a little bit of an outside line. And now we are at a really nice angle. So it does really nice. It's not losing it. No. The flex is really good on this guy. And we get the skid over, get that front wheel back down. Nice. Let's see how if we do ledgy and see how the shocks are doing. Nice, nice. Keeping everything down. Okay, let's see if we can somehow do plumb. I'm really doubting if this is in his wheelhouse, because this is exactly one of the situations where you need overdrive or underdrive. Trying to go slow, see if they can grab on something. Weight distribution is good, should be able, but that driver rear is really not working. It's behind that ledge and it does not have enough to pull over. You can try different steer inputs. Now this is really the point where you need under or overdrive. So we just did this test. This is on cruise control, low speed FOC. I think it's minimal, like 8%. And all it required was just a tiny push on the hood with my index finger, which means this car would really benefit from just a tiny bit of weight from the brass in the front. I have the brass laying, it just doesn't fit on the axles. I think it's brass for the AR60 axle. But as you can see, this thing can really slow crawl. It's just incredible what it just did. Let's put to the... Yeah, so it can do it, but it can't do it. I'm gonna give that another try. It was really so close. The amount of weight, the amount of force I needed to put on the hood was just so minimal. So I'm starting to figure out that line. We are on cruise control. Cruise control is on 9%. Steering is on... So we go a little bit more driver at first, and then we cut back. At least we try. And this is the point where that rear is almost over that driver rear. We're doing steer inputs between 30 and 40%. That is so close, so close. Man, that is close. And now I will try to just put some weight on the hood. I don't have a measuring device, but just see what happens. That is so little force. I'm barely touching that. That is so little force. So the brass will certainly help on the front axle. I think that brass is exactly everything. Yeah. Put that stone on a different place if you don't like it. And this thing growls really. That's just majestic, right? It's a GOM. To be clear, this is a GOM doing this. Man. That thing can rock climb. I think we can all agree. That thing can really rock climb. Yeah, it's officially a crawler now. put yeah. This might be some bonus footage. So we have the brass. It needs to go on the front axle. It's probably brass for an AR60. This is a GA60 axle. Yeah, I got it. I got this. And then it will also do plumb, because for me it did plumb. The weight I put on the hood was just so minimal. Yeah, officially we can check that box off. It's a crawler. Yeah, it was really fast. Yeah, man.